So, as we consider Exodus chapter 13 and the passage I read in chapter 14, which I wish I had time to have read it in its entirety. But if there's a story that a lot of us are familiar with, it is certainly the story of the crossing of the Red Sea. What I would like to bring to your attention is God's marvelous hand at work and how it is seen. And so we see, first of all, God's sovereign hand in leading. In Egypt, I would like to say God showed up and he showed out. 10 powerful, absolutely powerful signs of miracles. The turning of water into blood. The frogs here, there, everywhere. Lice that were not nice. Flies, livestock became ill, dying, boils, hail, locusts, darkness. And the D-Day, the death of the firstborn, those 10 plagues. Can you imagine what Egypt was like at the end? And we know, at that point, Pharaoh, that's it. Get out. God, with an outstretched arms, with his omnipotent power, brought them out. That was their salvation. That was their redemption, brought them out, and now he's leading them. And so we see God's sovereign hand in leading them. But there's something that stands out because God leads them, as we read in our text. He chose not to lead them by a certain way. In Exodus chapter 13, verse 17 and 18, it says, "Now when Pharaoh had let the people go, God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines, even though it was near. For God said the people might change their minds when they see war and return to Egypt." I believe that is loaded with a truth, a principle that we should acknowledge about God. God leads us. He sovereignly leads us by taking into account our weaknesses and limitations. He knew his people were not ready to face the Philistines. So he led them in a different route. Now, some of you might be saying, well, he still led them in the direction of the Red Sea. Yes, he did. Because God was setting up an opportunity to display his awesome hand at work. But he led them. He took in consideration they were not ready to do battle yet. It would have been a bloody massacre, more than likely. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I believe he still operates on this principle that he knows how much we can bear. As our memory verse says, 1 Corinthians 10:13, "No temptation has overtaken you, but such as is common to man. But God is" what? "Faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able to bear, but with the temptation will provide a way of escape that you may be able to endure it." God promises the extent of the trial or temptation we face. God promises the escape through it. He gives the grace and the power. And so God takes into account where we are and who we are. God regulates the who, the why, the what, the when, the where, and the how in our lives. And I don't know what's happening in your lives right now, your set of circumstances, but as you begin your day, you might want to start it out by affirming to the Lord, "Lord, I know that you are leading me. You are the God of my life. You're my heavenly Father. You are my faithful shepherd. And your sovereign hand leads me. Therefore, I know that even today, you are regulating in my life the who, the why, the what, the when, the where, and how." Just as he did in this amazing story with the children of Israel.